My dear brothers and sisters, today I want to talk about the sense in the church. You know, we Catholic people, we believe in the sense. We believe that if we pray through the sense, that our prayers will be granted. So, because saints are actually, there are people like you and I that have lived here on earth, but their life is filled with special grace from God, and they lived a life of love for God and for the people and for the things of God, and they lived a virtuous life. Everything about Jesus, about God, the Holy Spirit, is all over them, and their life is always consistent. The life of every saint must be a consistent life of good deeds, doing this particular good deed all over, all over, all over, all over again, until it becomes a vicious life. So I wanna introduce to us also my own special saint. Her name is Saint Therese of the Child Jesus. So Saint Therese, as we know, entered the Carmelite at a very young age, and she is her whole life is filled with love of Jesus, her little ways. And I heard about her as a little boy when I was still a manservant, and all of a sudden somebody gave me a little novena of her. I don't know where I got it. Just like this small booklet, and when I entered the seminary, this booklet is always in my breviary, this breviary or in my Bible. So when I entered Europe, um, I was under the guardianship of a priest, a pastor of the church. So I was doing my language, German language course as at then, in a college, the University of Vienna. So I started doing a 9-day novena through Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus. Then on the 9th day, I asked Saint Teresa, if you have actually heard me and my prayer have been granted, would you please give me flower from heaven, because you said that you will shower from heaven roses as a sign of love on those who pray through you. On that faithful day, my pastor, the priest I was under, as at that time, one faithful afternoon, called me on phone. Paul, where are you? I told him, Father, I'm in my room. He said, could you please come over to the church and help me organize the altar? I said, sure. So I rushed to the church, and I was helping him to organize the altar. And as I came, he was removing the old flowers, and in his hand he had the beautiful bunch of rose flowers, red rose flowers, and we beautified the altar. And after that, he pulled out a particular flower, the rose flower, and with laughing and smiling and joking, he gave it to me without knowing what I was doing. He gave it and said, this is for you, Paul. I thanked him. Um, I thanked him, but I went to my room and was shouting to Saint Teresa, you have heard my prayer, you have heard my prayer. I laid the flower on my altar, the small altar I had in my room then, and I was so happy. Few months later, 2 months later, the process, my intention that I have prayed for, they began to do the process. The process began for me to enter the seminary. And as at that time, I graduated very well from the German language college where I was. And the priest called me and told me that it is ready. It is time for me now to proceed further to enter the seminary. So everything went well. I entered the seminary, studied my theology, then I graduated. So everybody, I know that most of you listening to me now, you have your own saint that you honor, that you adore, that have granted you special grace, petitions, granted everything, and you are happy hanging around this particular saint. It could be Saint Joseph, the husband of Mary. It could be the Mary, the mother of Jesus. It could be Saint Philomena. It could be Saint Teresa of Calcutta. It could be any kind of saint that you love the little ways that you find very easy to grant petitions. You can always hang on with this saint. That this saint now, he has granted me separation. And when I went to came to the US, I met a priest whom I introduced this saint to, and I asked him to pray fervently 9 days novena through this saint. That the saint gonna grant him the request because the priest needed something to be done. So, but I left because he didn't tell me whether the request was granted or not. But I left to be sincere. I didn't call him to ask him whether prayer was granted or not. I must have to be straight with you. I didn't go ahead to ask him. So, because this saint had been so faithful to me, and I love the way she honors me. And there's another event that happened when I prayed the second time for another intention. The intention was granted. On the way, I was walking on the street of Vienna. I wanted to enter the subway to enter the train. I saw a young guy having a bunch of a bunch of flowers in his hand, and he was sharing it to everybody that passes through. Everybody, each individual is that some decline, but I accepted it. Immediately accepted it. My mind came to Saint Teresa. You have granted again my prayers, and it was granted again. So you have to link your saint and also challenge your saint. If you have my prayer, then help me do this, because he said that you have to challenge your saint if you have prayed with your whole heart. So I encourage everybody to have a particular saint that you love so much. And when I entered the seminary too, the seminary in Vienna, I had a very good friend of mine. He's a seminarian, but a historian. He had his master's in history before he came. So when we were discussing, I told him about this particular saint that I honor, because I normally introduce people to my saint. He told me that he's also his best saint, because this guy came from France. From France, Saint Teresa is from France, and this guy had a bunch of pictures of Saint Teresa, big pictures of Saint Teresa, and he did a photocopy of each and every one of them, more than 10 of them. And beside the picture, each picture he photocopied, he wrote the stage where Saint Teresa was at that time, and he handed over those pictures to me, and I have to hand them in my room, in my seminary, in the seminary, just that's and the picture made me to love Saint Teresa so much too, that is not a kind of an ordinary saint you can see anywhere. Just Jesus loved this little girl, and he loved Jesus. So I encourage everybody to find your own special saint that you honor, and ultimately hang on with Jesus and Our Lady. And also, you must have a saint that I like this sort of I like the way this guy did. He's doing follow Jesus, very simple way. I think I'm gonna hang on with that kind of lifestyle, and it is a consistent. It must be a consistent good life. Their life, your life, their life of a saint is consistent, virtuous life, doing good things all over, all over. It must be a particular thing. It must be almsgiving, or helping the sick, or educating the people, or encouraging people, or advancing people's lives. It must be something, a particular virtuous life. It must be consistent life that people will know you of. And from there, when the time comes, the judge has its way of evaluating everything, your case, when you are dead already, evaluating your case. If your descent, it happens to be a writer like Saint Therese, or she is already a daughter of the church, If she happens to be a writer, the writings that she wrote, everything, the books, and even her personal diary she wrote personally will be read, evaluated. The place where she lived will be evaluated. The people around her will be asked questions. Then the church will proceed to advance in announcing this person to be a saint of the church. So you listen to me might be the next saint. Who knows? You listen to me might be the next saint. Who knows? If you continue to do those good things required of you, it doesn't matter how small, just continue to do it. No matter how little, continue to do it, and the rest will be a story that will advance your, that will announce you to the whole world. Okay, I wish you a good life, and I wish that you have a particular sense. If you don't know, you can buy a book. There's a book they call The Life of the Saints, where you read their lifestyle. I have also another one I came to know when I entered Europe. He is he's a priest. This I've forgotten his name now. He's from Hungary, I think, from Hungary. The priest that was drowned in the water for not trying to open up to the king about the confession the wife made, because the king of that place wanted to know from the priest the confession that the wife came to made to him, but the priest said no, and the king has to drown him in a place called Mudau I think in Hungary. I've forgotten the name of the priest. So he is also one of my best guy too, that refused to open up to the king. He decided to lay his life to die instead of telling the king, the husband of this queen, about the confession that the wife came to. He said, I prefer to die, and he was killed and drowned. He's also a very good life. That also good sense too. The one from Poland that gave his life to secure the family life when they were during the Second World War. I've gotten the name too. The name is here, but I can't remember it at this instant that I'm doing this video. So the name is up there, but I can't remember it now. So there are good people that lived a good life. So hang out, see their life, how they live, little things. To be a saint is very easy. It's not doing a big thing, just little things. It must be a consistent, virtuous life. Doing the little things consistently that will advance you to sainthood. I wish you well. Please help me share this video all over, so that other people can also benefit from what you're benefiting. And here too, I have another big saint of mine too. You see here, Pope John Paul II. I pray through him too, and also the Sacred Heart of Jesus. I pray through him too. My Jesus, I pray through him too. So find your saint that keeps you happy, and every other thing will be a good history. Okay, may God bless you and keep you as you find your saint that will keep you going.